I'm going to show you something called layer comps that live in the window menu. That's going to be a lifesaver for people who have clients that need to see different versions of your document. But the cool thing about this feature is that you can create them all inside the same document. So instead of having to go to File, Open, and open Snow 1, then Snow 2, then Snow 3, I can move the contents in this one document around and then save those so that the client can just sit here and watch as I go from one to the other. And for those of you who are just entering the graphics industry, let me tell you now, clients are very hard to please. So you often want to give them at least 2 to 3 versions of a file, because chances are if they hire you to do something like this cover here, they're not going to like it. So to save yourself some time and some train fare or some gas money, do 2 or 3 versions and then cycle through them. And then what's going to happen is they're going to say, you know, I like this logo where it is, but take this text and move it over here. So they'll have some versions that we're going to create right now that you can already show them in the layers comps. All right, so here we go. With this icon right here, I can save a state that I have in my document. So currently in this particular version, I'm going to click here and I'm going to call it version 1. I can also apply to the layers the visibility. So all layers that are visible will remain visible, the position of everything, and I have a layer style here on the word snow. So I want that to stay there too. I could put a comment as well. So that's what the client wanted me to do. So I'll say OK. Now I'm going to move things around. So I'm going to grab my layers. And by the way, I'm going to show you a shortcut to quickly grab things in your comps instead of having to click on a layer to choose what you want to move. So let's say I want to move the word snow. Instead of trying to find it in my layers panel, I can simply right click in the document, and wherever my mouse is hovering, Photoshop's going to know that I want one of those 2 things. So I'm going to click on snow and I'm going to move it over to the other side. So let me go ahead and just collapse everything that I don't need and I'll put snow here. I'm going to right click on how to make snowballs and hold the shift key down, and I'm going to move that over after I select it just to make sure I get that all the way over there. I'll right click on the cat, which I have not named, which is something I usually don't do. I always name everything. I'll move this text up here and I'll grab the hot chocolate line, and once again I'll move that over here and I'll put the winter novel sentence here as well. Then I'm going to click this button and I'm going to save it as version 2. Once again, I'm going to keep everything here. I'll just put variant. Okay, and what I can do is create as many as I like. So let's say the client's here now, sitting right next to me, which you never really want, by the way. What I can do is click on this button here and say, this is the first version that you asked me to create. As you see, I have the logo here and the text as you asked. But I also thought you might want to see some other ideas, so I created another version that I would like to present to you. And here's version 2. So what do you think about this one? And the client's going, I hate it, I hate it. So what we have to do now is create another version, because the client sitting next to you is going to say, take the cat and put him over here and rotate it a little bit. So I'll press Command and Control T, rotate him a little bit, and then the client's like, put that there, and then rearrange the layers a little bit. So I'll just move these guys down. And once again, he's right next to you the whole time. So let's say that he likes this version 2 much better than the one you created. You click this little icon right here. It looks like a little recycle symbol. This is going to update that layer comp with these new changes. So now I can go to version 1 and version 2. And the cool thing about this is when I save my document, these comps stay with it. So layer comps are really going to be a time saver and a lifesaver, especially when you have finicky clients. Not that I have any of those.